Ethan never liked road trips. Not because he hated traveling, but because every bad thing that had ever happened to him started with a car ride. His parents' divorce. The call that his cousin overdosed. The night his best friend wrapped his Mustang around a tree. Every terrible memory began with headlights cutting through darkness. That was why he almost said no when his college friends invited him on the trip. Almost. But after weeks of working 12-hour shifts in a warehouse in Ohio, sleeping 4 hours a night, and staring at the same gray apartment walls every day, the idea of getting away started sounding necessary. Even if the destination was the middle of nowhere. "Dude, it'll be fun," Tyler told him over Discord. 3 nights, cabin by a lake, no people, no stress. "No internet," Marcus added proudly. "That's not a selling point. It is for normal humans." Ethan laughed despite himself. He should have listened to the feeling in his stomach. The small voice telling him not to go. But sometimes the worst decisions feel harmless when they begin. The group left Friday morning. Tyler drove his black SUV while Marcus controlled the music from the passenger seat. Ethan sat in the back beside Olivia, who spent most of the ride filming TikToks or sleeping against the window. The first few hours were normal. Gas stations, bad coffee, fast food wrappers piling up. But once they crossed into northern Michigan, civilization started thinning out. The highways became 2-lane roads. The towns became smaller. Eventually, there were stretches of forest so dense, Ethan couldn't see more than 20 feet between the trees. "People actually live out here?" Olivia asked. "Barely," Tyler said. Rain started around sunset. Not heavy. Just enough to blur the windshield and make the forests outside look darker. By the time GPS announced they were 30 minutes away, Ethan noticed they hadn't passed another car in almost 20 minutes. No houses. No stores. Nothing. Only trees. The road turned into gravel. Tyler slowed the SUV. "This can't be right," Marcus muttered. "It is," Tyler said, checking his phone mounted to the dash. "Cabins somewhere around here." The headlights swept across endless woods. Then they saw it. A faded wooden sign barely hanging from rusted chains. Black Pine Lake. The sign underneath looked newer. Private property. No trespassing. Marcus frowned. "Wait, Tyler, you rented a private cabin?" "Yeah." "From who?" "Some old guy online." "That sounds safe." Tyler ignored him. The SUV rolled deeper into the forest. And that was when Ethan noticed something strange. No animals. No insects. No frogs. The woods were silent. Completely silent. The cabin appeared suddenly between the trees. 2 stories tall. Dark brown wood. Huge windows facing the lake. It actually looked beautiful. For a second, Ethan relaxed. "See?" Tyler said. "Worth it." The lake behind the cabin stretched endlessly into darkness. Mist floated above the water like smoke. Olivia stepped out first. "Oh my God, this place is gorgeous." Cold air hit Ethan immediately when he opened the door. Not normal cold. The kind that crawls under your skin. He looked around. The forest surrounding the cabin felt wrong somehow. Too still. Tyler unlocked the front door with a keypad code the owner texted him earlier. The inside smelled old. Dust and wet wood. But the cabin itself was huge. Stone fireplace. Long dining table. Tall ceilings. Massive windows overlooking the lake. "Okay," Marcus admitted. "This is sick." The electricity worked. So did the water. There was even a stack of firewood already prepared beside the fireplace. Everything seemed fine. Until Ethan noticed the photographs. Dozens of framed pictures lined the hallway walls. Old families. Fishing trips. Children smiling near the lake. Most looked decades old. But every single photo had something odd about it. The people looked uncomfortable, not unhappy, afraid, like whoever took the picture had forced them to stand there. Olivia noticed too. Why do all these people look terrified? Tyler shrugged. Maybe the photographer sucked. But Ethan kept staring at one picture near the stairs. A family of 4 standing on the dock. Behind them, far out on the lake, a dark figure stood in the water. Almost impossible to notice, yet unmistakably human. That night they drank, played cards, and tried to relax. Rain hammered the windows harder as midnight approached. Marcus started telling ghost stories because Marcus always told ghost stories. There's actually legends about lakes like this, he said dramatically. Oh God, Olivia groaned. No, seriously, places where people disappear near the water. Please shut up. Marcus smirked. Some Native American tribes believed certain lakes were entrances. To what? He shrugged. Bad places. Tyler threw popcorn at him. You've watched too much YouTube. But Ethan noticed something. Marcus kept glancing toward the windows while he talked, as if part of him believed the stories too. Around 1 a.m., Olivia went upstairs to bed. Marcus followed soon after. Tyler stayed downstairs, scrolling through his phone. Ethan stood near the huge living room windows, staring out at the lake. The rain had stopped. Fog drifted over the water. And at first he thought he was imagining it. Something standing near the dock. Far away. Tall. Completely still. Ethan narrowed his eyes. Tyler. There's someone outside? Tyler looked up lazily. Where? By the dock. Tyler walked over. Both stared into the darkness. Nothing. You're paranoid, Tyler laughed. Ethan forced a smile, but he knew what he saw. At 2 a.m., Ethan woke to a sound downstairs. A loud creak, then another. Footsteps. He sat upright immediately. The cabin was dark, except for moonlight bleeding through the curtains. More footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Ethan checked his phone. No signal. Of course. He quietly left his room. The hallway upstairs was empty, but the sound continued below. Thump, 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 like boots against wood. He walked to Marcus's room and knocked softly. No answer. He opened the door. Empty. What the hell? Olivia's room was empty too. Panic hit instantly. Ethan rushed downstairs. The living room lights were off. Only the fireplace glowed faintly with dying embers. Tyler? No response. Then he saw the front door. Wide open. Cold air pouring inside. Outside, the dock lights flickered weakly through the fog, and 4 figures stood near the lake, motionless. Ethan stepped closer. Tyler, Marcus, Olivia, all facing the water, not moving. What are you doing? None answered. Ethan walked outside barefoot onto the freezing grass. The closer he got, the more wrong everything felt. His friends stood shoulder to shoulder, staring at the lake like statues. Then Ethan heard whispering. Not from them, from the water. Dozens of overlapping voices. Too faint to understand. He grabbed Marcus's shoulder. Marcus turned slowly. His eyes were half open. Sleepwalking. What the hell? Then all 3 of them started walking forward, toward the lake. Ethan grabbed Tyler first. Wake up. Tyler kept moving. The water reached his ankles, then knees. Marcus and Olivia followed. The whispering became louder. Ethan finally heard words. Come closer. Come into the water. You're almost here. His stomach dropped. There was someone standing farther out in the lake, a silhouette, watching them. Ethan screamed and pulled Tyler backward with everything he had. Tyler suddenly gasped awake. What the? Marcus snapped out next. Then Olivia. All three looked confused, terrified. "Why are we outside?" Olivia whispered. Nobody answered, because they all saw the figure now, standing chest deep in the black water, perfectly still and impossibly tall. Then it moved, not walking, gliding toward them. Tyler yelled, "Run!" All four sprinted back toward the cabin. Behind them came splashing. Fast. Way too fast. Ethan slammed the door shut while Marcus locked it. Something hit the outside wall immediately after. Boom. Olivia screamed. Another impact shook the cabin. The windows rattled violently. Then silence. Complete silence again. Nobody slept the rest of the night. Morning made everything feel stupid. Almost. Sunlight poured across the lake. Birds chirped normally. No figure. No whispers. Nothing. Tyler laughed nervously over breakfast. Mass hysteria. Marcus shook his head. We all sleepwalked at the exact same time. Olivia looked pale. I heard the voices too. Nobody wanted to admit what they believed. So they tried acting normal. They went hiking around noon. Bad idea. The deeper they walked into the woods, the stranger things became. Ethan found old camping gear abandoned near trees, rust-covered lanterns, rotting backpacks, even a torn sleeping bag half buried in mud. People litter everywhere, Tyler muttered. But then Olivia found the shoe. A child's sneaker, covered in dirt, still tied. Marcus looked uneasy. Guys, maybe we should head back. Then they found the ranger station, or what was left of it. A tiny wooden building collapsing into the forest. Its windows smashed, door hanging open. Inside were moldy shelves and decades-old papers scattered everywhere. Ethan picked up a newspaper clipping. Local teens missing at Black Pine Lake. Another headline. Search called off after 6th disappearance. Olivia whispered, "What the hell is this place?" Marcus opened a drawer. Inside was a cassette tape labeled June 14, 2000. Tyler found an old battery-powered recorder nearby. Miraculously, it still worked. The tape hissed loudly before a man's voice spoke, breathing heavily. "If anyone finds this, don't stay near the lake after dark." Static. We thought it was one person at first. Another burst of static. But there's more underwater. Olivia backed away slowly. The voice continued. "They imitate voices. They make people walk into the water." A loud banging sound interrupted the tape. Then screaming. The recording ended abruptly. Nobody spoke, because outside the ranger station, they heard splashing from somewhere deep in the woods. That night, they decided to leave. Immediately. No debate. No arguments. They packed everything fast while rain began falling again. Tyler grabbed the car keys. "We're done. Screw this place." Everyone agreed. But when they started the SUV, nothing happened. Dead battery. Marcus swore loudly. "That's impossible." The headlights flickered weakly once. Then darkness. Olivia looked near tears. "We need to go." "I know." Tyler popped the hood. Ethan stood on the porch, scanning the tree line. Rain poured harder now, and between flashes of lightning, he saw people standing among the trees. At least 6 of them, watching the cabin. Tall, unmoving. Tyler turned. Lightning flashed again. The figures were closer. Marcus whispered, "Oh my God." Another flash. Closer again. Impossible. Nobody moved that fast. Then Olivia screamed. One stood beside the dock now. right next to the cabin. Its body looked wrong. Too thin. Arms hanging unnaturally low. Skin pale gray beneath the rain. No visible face. Just darkness where features should be. The thing tilted its head slowly. Then more shapes emerged from the lake behind it. Dozens, rising silently from black water. Tyler shouted, "Inside!" They barricaded the doors. Marcus grabbed a fireplace poker like it would help. The things outside circled the cabin slowly, scratching walls, tapping windows. Then came the voices. Perfect imitations. "Help me." A woman crying. "Please let us in." A child screaming. Then Ethan froze because he heard his mother's voice. "Ethan, open the door." His blood went cold. His mother had died 3 years earlier. Olivia started sobbing. "They're using our heads." Then the knocking started upstairs. Not outside. Inside the cabin. Thump, thump, thump. Something was already in the house. Marcus volunteered to check upstairs first. Huge mistake. They heard him yell almost immediately. Then silence. "Marcus," Tyler shouted. No answer. Tyler and Ethan ran upstairs together. The hallway was empty. Marcus's bedroom door stood open. Inside, the window was shattered. Rain blowing across the room. Marcus gone. Only bloody handprints remained on the floorboards leading toward the window. Olivia started hyperventilating downstairs. Tyler looked terrified for the first time. "We need to leave now." "How?" Another crash downstairs. Glass breaking. One of the creatures had entered. Olivia screamed again. They rushed downstairs. The living room window had exploded inward. Rain drenched the floor. But Olivia stood alone near the fireplace, shaking violently. "It took him." Tyler grabbed her arm. "We're running." "To where?" "The road." Outside was chaos. Rain. Darkness. The creatures moving between trees. Some crawled unnaturally low across the ground. Others stood motionless watching. The three sprinted into the woods with only flashlights. Behind them came splashing. Even though the lake was hundreds of feet away now, the sounds followed anyway. Ethan realized something horrifying. The water sounds weren't coming from the lake. They were coming from the creatures themselves. Like they carried the lake with them. Olivia suddenly vanished mid-run. 1 second beside Ethan. Gone the next. Her scream echoed somewhere deep in the forest. Tyler tried running toward it. Ethan stopped him. "You'll die. We can't leave her." Another scream cut through the trees. Then abruptly stopped. Tyler collapsed to his knees. And somewhere nearby, a voice whispered in Olivia's exact tone. "Tyler." They ran again. After nearly an hour, they found an old watchtower near the road. Rotting wood, but high enough to climb. They locked themselves inside the tiny top room. Rain hammered the structure violently. Tyler stared out the windows holding the fireplace poker with white knuckles. "We're dead." Ethan didn't answer, because he knew Tyler was probably right. Below them, shapes moved between trees, circling, waiting. Then Tyler suddenly frowned. "You hear that?" At first, Ethan heard only rain. Then, footsteps climbing the tower stairs. Slow, wet, thump, thump, thump. Tyler whispered, "No." The footsteps stopped outside the trapdoor. Silence. Then Marcus's voice. "Guys, let me in." Ethan stared at Tyler. Tyler looked ready to cry. "Marcus, I'm hurt." Something scratched the wood softly. "Please." Ethan stepped backward. Because the voice sounded wrong. Almost perfect, but not human. Tyler reached for the trapdoor latch. Ethan grabbed him. "That's not Marcus." The voice below stopped. Then came laughter. Low, wet, dozens of overlapping voices laughing together. The trapdoor slammed upward violently. Again. Again. Wood splintered. Tyler screamed. Ethan looked out the tower window desperately and finally saw headlights in the distance. A truck driving along the road. Ethan grabbed the emergency flare gun hanging near the tower window. He fired. Red light exploded across the forest. Every creature below froze instantly. For the first time, Ethan saw them clearly. Their bodies looked swollen and pale, like drowned corpses left underwater for years. Their mouths hung impossibly wide, and their eyes completely black. The truck stopped. A man jumped out, yelling something. The creatures scattered immediately into the forest, gone within seconds. The trapdoor stopped shaking. Silence returned. The man helped Ethan and Tyler into his truck without asking questions. As they drove away, Ethan looked back once. The lake was barely visible through the trees, but hundreds of dark figures stood motionless along the shoreline, watching them leave. Police searched Black Pine Lake 2 days later. They found the cabin abandoned. No signs of Olivia or Marcus. No footprints. No bodies. Nothing. The ranger station was gone too, like it had never existed. Authorities assumed drugs or panic caused the story. Tyler stopped speaking to Ethan after the investigation ended. Neither liked discussing what happened. But 6 months later, Ethan received something in the mail. No return address. Inside was a single photograph. A recent one. It showed Black Pine Lake at night. Standing on the dock were Ethan and Tyler, taken from the water. And behind them, just beneath the lake's surface, dozens of pale faces stared upward, waiting for them to come back. This story was created for entertainment purposes. The events, characters, and locations in this video are fictional.